Hey Mixers, welcome back to another WNBA player props video. We are giving away some cash today because we had a great day on Taco Tuesday. Also yesterday, for today's picks, yesterday's video, for those of you who got in the mix with just any comment, I never ended up adding another best bet because there wasn't anything else that I liked. But if we hit all three of the plays that I gave out a lean and an alt line play. So if we hit all three of those, then I'll give out some money anyways because it's my money and I can do whatever I want with it. So I choose to give it out if we hit those three for today. But those games have not been played yet. So I do have some more best bets for you tomorrow. If you want to get in the mix for today's video, just leave a comment. So let's go ahead and give away that cash and do a little recap, and then we'll jump into those picks. All right, so let's spin this wheel here. And looks like we have Nicodemo Scarfo, which you are a new winner. So what I need you to do is reach out to me on X or on Instagram, or send me an email at elixirmixersllc@gmail.com, and I will reach out to you and get that money sent to you. Thank you so much for the support. Let's take a look at his comment. Now let's go over the recap here. So I gave you 3 picks in the video. Aaliyah Boston over 22.5 points rebound. She had 36. Brittany Sykes over 11.5 points. She only had 12. We actually got a little bit lucky there. She had a great scoring matchup, but the Storm just got completely outplayed by the Fever. So we actually got a little bit lucky on that one. And then Kalia Copper over 14.5 points. She had 18. I also told you probably could take Satou. And I did take the Alyssa Thomas promo that came out in the day, and that cashed as well. Dearica Hamby under 28.5 PRA. We actually almost got there. She did cook us, though, with the last 5 minutes of the game. She had a great last 5 minutes. I was hoping that the Phoenix Mercury would go so far up that the Sparks would just give up, even though they need every single game to make the playoffs. And obviously that just didn't happen. But since that was an added play later on, I only lost 1 unit on this because it was just bet separately. But I put these 3 bets in on Boom Fantasy, and I just wanted to show you how I got a 9x payout from just 3 picks. So on Boom Fantasy, they gave me an extra payout on all 3 of these. You can see a normal payout is like 1.76. So this one's 1.87, 1.84, and then 1.93. So none of these were favored to hit, which I told you in the video. And so we got a little bit of an extra payout with all 3 of those. And then there was also a payout boost on top of that I used, a 35% payout boost. That got me to almost 9x. So that was awesome. I just threw $10 on it, made almost $100 on it. So that was pretty cool for just a 3-man. Let's jump into the picks for today. So first, we're taking Napheesa Collier over 7.5 rebounds. She is the leading rebounder for her team, and the Storm give up a ton of rebounds. They just gave up 9 to Aaliyah Boston and 9 to some no-name person on the bench. I don't even remember her name. But she is over 70% of the time at home against all opponents, and they are playing at home. So I really, really like this spot here for Napheesa Collier. She just played 31 minutes in the last game, so I assume that means she's going to play the full game. I like her points as well because she is fighting for that MVP award with Asia, who has kind of lately been challenging her for that award. So you could do a points rebounds combo. You could do whatever you want on Napheesa Collier. I think she's in a great spot. The only concern would be that the Storm have a miserable game like they just did against the Fever, and the Lynx barely need to do anything to win the game. So that would be my only concern, although I have seen Napheesa Collier play in blowouts because I think the Lynx are trying to get her that extra run for that MVP race. So yeah, I like this 7.5 rebounds regardless against this Storm team. The next one here is going to be Satou Sabally over 7.5 first half points. This line is not out yet, so I assume it's going to be 7.5, could be 8.5. I don't know about taking it at 8.5. I would look at maybe the quarter 1 points, see if that comes in at around 4.5. But the top thing here is her first half points against the Sky this year. She had 12 in an away game where Kalia Copper was not playing, and then she had 9 in a home game where Kalia Copper was playing. And then the bottom graphic here is the first quarter points. So she had 12 in the away game and 6 in the home game. Now, Satou Sabally normally plays better at home, and Kalia Copper normally plays better on the road. That's the reason why we took Kalia Copper yesterday, and it just so worked out that they both went over their lines. So Satou should be in a good spot today. She might be guarded by Angel Reese because I expect, Alyssa Thomas will be on Camila Cardoso most likely. But I just don't think that the Sky can really put up much here. So that's my issue with taking a full game prop. I do think it's going to be raining 3-pointers, probably on both sides of the ball. Both teams are probably going to be shooting a couple 3-pointers here. But rather than the 3-pointer props, which are going to get like docked on the payout, I'd rather just take Satou on her points. And we'll take first half if it comes out at 7.5, or first quarter if it comes out at 4.5. Or I have a pivot for you. So my pivot here is going to be DeWanna Bonner over 10.5 points. She plays great at home with the Phoenix Mercury, which is this left graph. Since she's been on the Mercury, she's only missed this one time at home, and it was against the Lynx, one of the best teams in the league, probably the best team in the league. And then when she played the Sky specifically, she only had 6 in one game with the Mercury, but that was an away game. And she only had 7 and 6 in 2 games with the Fever, but she didn't really have a prominent role on that team like she does on the Mercury. If this does turn into a blowout, DeWanna Bonner might get extra run. I don't know, but she does get a lot more minutes at home, is all I know for sure. So I like this as a possible pivot if we don't get the Satou lines that we want. And then the lean here, Angel Reese double. This is not a normal payout on most apps, but I was able to find it for like 1.66, so almost a normal payout on Boom Fantasy. So that is the only place I'm willing to take it. I'm not willing to take it anywhere else where they're docking the payout. And it's not a lean because I don't think she can hit it. It's just a lean because of the payout. But I think you can get it for an almost normal payout on Boom Fantasy. So she is over 100% of the time, over 9.5 points this season in home games. And she's over in away games. And then she's over 87% of the time in away games this season as well on the rebounds. And she hooked both times that she missed. She missed against the Atlanta Dream, the number 1 rebounding team in the league. And she missed against the Wings back in May when the Wings were one of the best rebounding teams in the league. They are not anymore. So keep that in mind when you're playing against the Wings and taking props against the Wings. They no longer are an elite rebounding team. So that is my lean. And then I have one alt line that I am in love with, and that is Sonia Citron over 11.5 points. She's over 92% of games without Brittany Sykes. She had 10 and 13 in 2 previous head-to-heads with Sykes on the court. So I think with her increased role, she gets here no problem. My only concern is that the Washington Mystics obviously don't have anything to play for, and this is a home game for the Liberty. So, they could give up. The Liberty could get up by 20, 30 points here, and that could be the end of it, because we know Sonia Citron is more of a second-half scorer normally. But I'm willing to take a risk here on her. I love Sonia Citron, and she's made me so much money this year. So let's go over the recap there. So since I only have 2 best bets, you can just comment whatever you want today for the cash giveaway. Napheesa Collier over 7.5 rebounds, and then Satou Sabally over 7.5 first half points, or 4.5 quarter 1 points. Or if none of those are available, then we'll pivot to the lean DeWanna Bonner. Oh, and I don't know what her line is going to be either, but I'm assuming it'll be around 10.5 points. So I want to take it there if the Satou Sabally prop does not come out. I'm probably not going to play them both, most likely. And then the lean Angel Reese double. Only take that if you can get a good payout, which the only good payout I'm finding is on Boom Fantasy. And then the alt lines, Sonia Citron over 11.5 points. That is specifically on Prize Picks, where you're getting a really good payout for that way low line that she has been hitting. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. And I'll be here every day. My picks will always be free to you. So I really appreciate the free little things you can do for me, like liking, subscribing, leaving a comment for me, and sharing this video with your friends. Football season is about to start, and I have probably close to 100 bets that I've given out for week 1. I have probably 80 units already wagered on week 1, which is absolutely insane. But I love taking big swings on the NFL in the first 4 weeks when people's roles aren't really known. And I watch all the preseason, I watch college, so I know these players. I have really good gut calls on what their role is going to be on the teams. Obviously, I'm wrong a lot as well, but I just think it's fun to take big swings in the first few weeks of the season. That is not normally recommended. I don't recommend you go out and spend 80 units on week 1, but look through my videos, see if there's any bets that you like. And there are some, I do want to mention this. There are some weird fumble props that are coming out on Chalkboard. So you can bet for players to not have a fumble for a decent payout. So if you string like 3 or 4 of those together, it's mostly quarterbacks. So if you go on Chalkboard and you look at the quarterbacks in the fumbles category, you can bet for like Joe Burrow to not have a fumble and like Josh Allen to not have a fumble, and package those together, and you're going to get like 2x for it. So that's a little crazy. If they keep giving us those, well, we'll see how it works in week 1. And then if they keep giving us those, that we might attack Chalkboard there with that prop until they take it off the board. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you tomorrow.